about 6 or 7 engineers from India to UK and settled them. The small part of engineering. But engineering is huge. So they have to find their own way. So my way of telling them is 3 years, I encourage you to go and find another place.
That's a nice way. Hi, people. Today I bring an iconic personality to you, a living legend, founder and director of Consulting Structural Engineers Global Private Limited. Hello, sir.
Hello.
So you are an stalwart personality, and we all, I think, can take one leaf of lesson out of your life. So can we start with knowing your life, your journey?
Yes, I can certainly summarize my journey. My first part, then the middle, then the final bit. I can produce 3 parts.
Okay, sir.
Initially, uh, I lived all my life in Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Okay. And 1967, I decided to come to India to do some higher studies.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, textile technology was very prevalent in Sri Lanka. So I did a course in textile technology here in Central Polytechnic in Alayar. And having completed the course, I got appointed to Bini Mills in Bangalore,
Winnie Mills.
in Bangalore. I went on the first day and walked out of the other door
Oh, okay.
because the noise was unbearable for me,
Unbearable. Okay.
weaving beaver. And I was pondering and what exactly I could do for my career. And my father's intention was to study, but I wasn't interested at that stage. I wanted to know, I wanted to be somebody in the industry. So I took the challenge to leave India to England in 1971
Okay.
with borrowed money from the bank of 7,000 rupees, which was initiated. I approached, I got that fund, and my cousin signed as a guarantor. I took the money and took the plane. At that time, it was easy to just get on the aircraft and land in London. And I applied to do an engineering course in textile technology. And as soon as I landed in England, I realized that's not what I want. And I shifted to engineering immediately.
Okay.
And I carried on as an engineer there. My funds, I was not funded, so I had to earn my own funds. There are several ways one could do this even today. I did it then, and I've done all the menial jobs that's under the sun, and carried on. And eventually, after 7 years, I got my degree as I became a postgraduate for the postgraduate of Imperial College of London.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, so since then I've been working under the arm of a very eminent engineer, and whose company that company started in 1905, and I joined them in 1979.
Okay.
And from 05, his sons have taken over. So I was working for their sons, and the sons were very brilliant engineers, considering that they'd gone through the World War II, and and the country was, everybody was growing at that stage. The buildings were being constructed, and materials were not available to that extent. So remnants of World War tracks were used to construct buildings. The technology was very primitive.
Okay.
So some of the buildings are done in that way.
Okay.
But I gave me a good grasp of proper original engineering as opposed to trained engineering.
Okay.
We could make decisions instantly, the things carry on, and I successfully helped them a lot, and we both liked each other. We carried on, and since then I realized that I need to move on, even though those partners said this is the place you are going to spend the rest of your life. But I didn't like that. But
Okay.
nevertheless, I moved on to other heavy industries
Mm-hmm.
in structural engineering, followed by uh, a good stint of uh, iconic buildings in London,
Okay.
and I was responsible for the tallest building in London, and in 1978, in 1999 or so,
Okay.
and then I followed it up with a deep foundation below ground, about 130 feet below ground for car
Wow.
parking.
Wow.
So I had that experience from both ends.
Mm-hmm.
Equally, I was also responsible for stabilizing the Trafalgar Square Christmas tree. So I had that privilege. It's only privilege. No money in there. It's a privilege. I did all that. And it came to pass that as I was growing older and the engineering was, I understood which part of engineering I loved. It was building construction, building construction. And so uh, that led me to come to think about building construction had a series of processes. And I realized that one process of this can be taken to India.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
For not only for benefit of myself, but for the benefit of Indian graduates and undergraduate and diploma holders who would be interested in growing. So then I came in here. I took, I established this with another company. I don't want to mention their name, because unfortunately, because we didn't agree at some stage after 25 years, so we had to part company.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So 4 years ago, that happened 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Okay.
But during that period, I was there with them. I had taken about 6 or 7 engineers from India
Mm-hmm.
to UK and settled them.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
And from us, basically, the element of the work I am interested and keen to do relates to normal buildings on ground, not buildings on the sea.
Okay.
Okay, eliminated buildings on the ground, and the building has lots of components put together. One is reinforced concrete frame, then the cladding, then electricity, then all the brains. A building when it starts is dumb. Now you got to then feed into it the intelligence. The
Okay.
intelligence comes from lighting, putting services in, water service, fire service, and all that in there.
So all the interiors you mean to say?
Yeah, interior.
Okay.
I don't do the interior.
Oh, you
I
don't do
concentrate
that.
only in the building structure, the
Building
skeleton.
structures. Okay.
So skeleton, and this skeleton required, for sure, had elements in there which could be done abroad. And this element is the one I brought to this country in 1996 initially. And there were softwares that were being prepared by other companies which can be used very successfully here. So I established this company in 1996, but then I moved away from the original company and carried on now from 19 extension of that is what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Basically, what I tend to do all along is go to universities and colleges, recruit staff at diplomats at 17 and 18 level and graduates, and bring them and train them and give them a good training program
Okay.
to understand building construction, not necessarily the whole of the building, because I concentrated only on the skeleton. So at this moment in time, that's what we are doing. We last about 2 weeks ago, we went to Coimbatore, recruited about 25 staff, and they are coming to join us in June, and we'll train them for 3 months, and then put them on the board, put them on the production line, and train them with full understanding what they're doing. Unfortunately, because what's happened in 19, some people took advantage of this concept and are training not engineers, they are training robots to do the same work, which is unfortunate because, I think it's pretty unfair for graduates who have been taught to do something else are pushed into this. It was not meant for graduates. This was simply diploma holders, what we do. In any case, it's a short, for me, I was hoping everybody coming out of the industry, college, will spend about 3 years with us and move on to better things. Because we can't afford to give them a career.
Okay.
We can give them
A start.
With a small part of engineering. But engineering is huge. So they have to find their own way. So my way of telling them is 3 years, I encourage you to go and find another place.
That's a nice way.
You all are experienced, earning money. It's time for you to see what's available in the market for you.
Okay.
Now, as you mentioned, oil and gas is another industry which I don't get involved, but the knowledge they gain can help them to get into oil and gas.
Correct.
So that is how it's been. So we are progressing in that direction, and I got a team that helps me to move everything forward.
This is a very interesting concept. I'll again come around about this topic again to you about how people can get out in 3 years from your company. So